Take a look at this.
We come not to trash the FBI, but to rescue the FBI from political capture. And it seems as though that political capture was really enhanced when Robert Mueller took a lot of the authority and power away from the field offices all over our country and centralized that power. Seems we don't see these abuses with the brave FBI agents like Ms. Parker, who I'm very grateful served my fellow Floridians in the Miami field office. Ms. Parker, if we got the decision-making more out of Washington, D.C. and into the hands of our field offices where we have so many patriotic and brave FBI officials, do you think we'd be able to escape this political capture that quite literally drove you out of the Bureau?
I think that's absolutely critical.
It seems as though that politics isn't out in the field offices. It's here in Washington, D.C., and that's precisely what we ought to deconstruct legislatively.
Matt Gaetz, I liked your line when you said you're not here to trash the FBI, but rescue the FBI from political capture. After James Comey and now Christopher Wray, and I said when Christopher Wray became the FBI director, he has a duty to clean up the world's premier law enforcement agency. Clearly, he has failed in that task. My question is, can it be rescued, or do we need to rebuild a new FBI, one that can be trusted, one that doesn't take in political considerations, one that believes in equal justice and application of our laws?
Well, if we decentralize the power outside of Washington, D.C., I think we can vindicate the true and honorable and just purpose of the FBI without falling victim to political capture. And, Sean, it's every election. Before the 2016 campaign, an FBI lawyer changed evidence before a secret court. Before the 2018 campaign, the FBI was breathing life into the lying Steele dossier. Before the 2020 campaign, you saw the FBI doing everything they could to make you think that Trump was somehow a Russian agent or shaking down Vladimir Zelensky. And then before 2022, they raided Mar-a-Lago, all the while suppressing the information on the Hunter Biden laptop and suppressing anything that was derogatory to Joe Biden. And when we let the Democrats bring any human being on the planet Earth in to say that maybe the government isn't weaponized against our people, maybe Jim Jordan and I are wrong, they brought in a lobbyist, but not just any lobbyist, a lobbyist that was an Obama-era DOJ political appointee who now represents Google and Pfizer and George Soros as a paid influence peddler. Bringing in a lobbyist to try to dissuade us from our path to expose the weaponization of this government would be like bringing in Joe Biden to teach your comprehension and cognition class, or maybe Chris Christie to do your weight loss planning with you. It was ludicrous, and we deserve far better.
Exit question. Chairman, I'll ask you first. Was there a well-designed and orchestrated censorship campaign to influence the 2020 election? Is that a fact at this point?
Yeah, and I like the term that Professor Turley used, censorship by surrogate. Here's a fundamental question, Sean. Why is the FBI sending a list of accounts to Twitter and telling Twitter, we think these accounts, we think these tweets violate Twitter's terms of service? Why are they doing that? If that's not pressure, if that's not coercion to take down free speech, to take down political speech, I don't know what is. So I like that term, censorship by surrogate, because that's what took place, and we know that because of the Twitter files.
Matt Gaetz, do you agree censorship influenced the outcome of the 2020 election?
Undeniably on the laptop story alone, but we are just starting to learn all of the different features of shadow banning and trying to shape political thought for people in this country. I just want an FBI that goes and stops the bad guys from committing crimes and holds them accountable when they do, not an FBI and Department of Justice that's trying to shape the political thought of our fellow Americans. We can do that for ourselves. We can decide who we want to vote for without the FBI and the DOJ trying to manipulate the digital marketplace of ideas.